'Twas the night before Christmas, and all through the feed, we were feeling the holiday spirit indeed. In a world of business, a question takes flight. What's your prerogative for gifting that's just right?
Is it personalized, with thought and with care, or last-minute choices, a gift-giving affair? Join us this episode, A Festive Delight, as we unwrap the secrets of business gifting tonight.
Lady bosses, are you working even after putting the kids to bed but still not getting results?
Are you tired of spending money on ads that aren't getting engagement?
Do you feel burdened that you aren't fulfilling your purpose in life because you are so consumed with work?
I'm your host, Brooke Bolts. I'm an attorney and founder of Bolts Legal. I started my business and in 1 year was bringing in 7 figures and am now bringing in multi-7 figures.
And I'm your co-host, Rachel Bolts, owner of Bolts Media. I've helped many businesses build their online presence and increase their revenue through digital marketing.
Want to hear how we did it?
We are here to help you achieve your goals personally, professionally, and spiritually.
So kick off your high heels, sit back, and let's ignite that passion.
We're Miss Biz, where we're putting the miss in biz.
Let's get biz done. According to Chet Holmes, author of The Ultimate Sales Machine, strategic business gifting is the fastest, least expensive method for doubling sales. This one strategy has doubled the sales of more companies than any other strategy. His book tells a story of Johan Nagira. Johan invested $13 into 4 gifts for his dream prospects. He had 1,000 prospects on his list. It cost him $13,000 for the gifts, plus shipping, which frankly, shipping might have cost as much as the gifts. Mm-hmm. But it ended up generating him $9 million.
Holy moly. That's an excellent return on investment. And one of the reasons that business gifting is so effective is the rule of reciprocity. So this rule states that we should try to repay what another person has given us most of the time. When someone sends us a present, remembers our birthday, or even does us a favor, we naturally feel obligated to return the favor. And I don't even think that it's necessarily that they feel obligated. I feel like they want to because you did something nice and thoughtful for them.
An example of this in my personal life is last year for Christmas, one of my friends gave me a Christmas gift. And I didn't expect it, and so I didn't have a gift to give to her, and I felt terrible. So you better believe this year, months before her birthday and Christmas, I was planning and thinking of what gift I could give her that she would appreciate and enjoy.
It was game on.
So I think that theory of reciprocity was happening even without me being aware of it. I just felt like I received something and I wanted to give back.
Humans dislike feeling like they owe something. So often a tiny gift or a little favor will elicit a larger response.
There's a study from Cornell University that showed, and this is in the Giftology book by John Ruhlin, the study found that customers who were given a small piece of chocolate with their check tipped more than those who were not given chocolate. They concluded that it was most likely the desire to reciprocate the kind gesture that inspired the bigger tip.
I wonder if that's why they do that at Olive Garden. You know how they give like the little Andes mints? I would be curious to know the history of that and how it got started. But I know when I worked at Denny's, what I would do is, especially if they were repeat customers, I would write a little note on the receipt and I would say, thanks for coming to see me again. Can't wait to see you, next time. And it seemed to be highly effective because it just kind of tied in the whole experience for them with like the icing on the cake at the end to, to let them know that I really appreciated them coming to see me.
And that reminds me of the second reason why business gifting is so effective is because it represents the value of the relationship. Even with your customers as a waitress, by you writing them a little handwritten note, show them that you valued them, that you cared about them. And that's what gifting does. It represents the value to them. And that's why if you're a wife and your husband gives you something that you don't like, that you get so upset about it because it represents the value of the relationship. So if they don't put a lot of thought into it, or they don't try to find something that you like. My dad is great at giving my mom things that he wants her to have. Like a new vacuum or, something she can cook with or something. Like he's always giving her things that she can do housework with.
That's hilarious.
And my mom is she likes those things, so she's fine with it. But some women will get upset.
Yeah, they would be very mad.
Yeah, I've certainly gotten upset before in past relationships when someone gave me something and I didn't feel like they really put in the effort, or it was just something they rushed to the store and grabbed because they didn't know what else to get. So it represents the value of your relationship, and that's why it is so valuable to building business relationships.
Business gifting helps to create those raving fans, and one raving fan is worth more than 100 satisfied customer. A raving fan is going to tell everyone that they know about you, whereas a satisfied customer, they probably won't tell anyone about you because it's business as usual.
So the fourth thing that business gifting does is it opens doors. There's a story in the Giftology book about a prospect that John Rulin had been trying to meet with for 18 months.
That's a long time.
Yeah, that is persistence. I think I might have given up at that point.
That's like two babies.
Yeah.
2 babies long.
two pregnancies. So for 18 months, he'd been trying to get a meeting with this person, and he continuously got no response. So then he researched and found that this person was a college sports fan. And so he hired a custom furniture company to engrave the college mascot of this guy's team and the fight song onto a 50-inch long, 60-pound piece of cherry wood. And he sent that to the person. And within 24 hours, the assistant called to schedule a meeting.
That is just going above and beyond, like just going all out to impress. And it shows the impact that just by putting a lot of thought, because he had to do a lot of research and go through a lot of different steps to have that custom made for him. So just by doing that, it showed the recipient just the value that this person had placed on just getting that meeting. So I love this story. Now, we often think about business gifting in terms of our customers, the customers that we have right now. But business gifting can be beneficial to not only your current clients, but also your past clients, your prospective clients, your prospective referral partners. Those are the people that can send you repeat customers. Even your employees. Your employees are some of your biggest advocate. They're your walking billboards. So you can give gifts to them to help solidify the relationship that you already have with them. And then you can also give gifts to your Dream 100.
The Dream 100 is a term that comes from the Ultimate Sales Machine book, and it is your 100 people or businesses who are your dream clients. And so you make this list. It doesn't have to be 100. He recommends 100, and that's what he utilizes. It could be less, it could be more, just depending on the size of your business. But the key is your intentionality of going through and making the list of the people you want to gift. And where do you find the names to put on that list? Well, first, you want to go through your existing client database or your CRM and look for those people who you really appreciated and you really want to build a greater relationship with. You also can look at your social media followers, those people who share all your posts, who comment all the time. Those are great people to add to your Dream 100 list. Also, if you don't know the names of people, but you know the profession or the type of person you're looking for, you can Google to find names. So for example, if you want to reach out to mortgage brokers, you can go and Google to see who are the best ones in your geographic area, who's got the most reviews, and how impactful are those reviews, and add them to your Dream 100 list. You could also just look at news feeds and see who's being recognized in the media. Are there articles out there about some of these influential or high profile business owners that you may want to add on your Dream 100 list? And then finally, you can just ask the people you know, who do you think would be a great dream client for me? And write them down, whatever they recommend, if you agree with it.
If you enjoy the Miss Biz podcast, but still have questions or need advice, we have some exciting news for you. Join us for Miss Biz Connects. Miss Biz Connects is a weekly 1-hour Zoom call on Fridays at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time.
This is 1 hour each week dedicated to you. We want to meet you and put our brains together to help you grow personally, professionally, and spiritually.
To access the meeting link, visit us on our social media pages at Miss Biz Podcast or send us an email to missbizpod@gmail.com.
Join us this Friday and let's grow the Miss Biz Nation. So creating the Dream 100 is step one to figuring out who you want to send gifts to. And these are good ways to make your list.
So now that we know who to send gifts to, the next important factor to consider is when to send these gifts. The recipient will appreciate the gift more if it comes as a surprise. So for example, if I tell you that I'm going to bring over a pizza for dinner next Tuesday night, in your mind, you might start thinking, well, I hope it's not Domino's. I really don't like Domino's. And I'm also on a gluten-free diet right now, and I hope that it has gluten-free crust. Before it's even happened, you have outlined in your mind a list of expectations. And if any of those expectations aren't met, you're going to be disappointed, or you could be disappointed. But if I were to just show up on a Tuesday night with a pizza, you'd be overjoyed. Even if it was from Domino's and had gluten, you would be appreciative because it was something that you weren't expecting. It was a surprise. So send your gifts to people when they're not expecting it. And people expect gifts at Christmas or birthdays. So send your gift virtually any other time of the year, and the recipient is likely to be surprised.
So how often should you be sending gifts? Well, it's not a one and done approach, although I have had great results even with just sending one gift. So you will get a positive response many times with just sending one gift, but the theory and strategy behind business gifting is it's not a one and done, that it's a part of that relationship building experience. So John Ruhlin of Giftology says that you want to shock and awe a person enough times for them to say, wow, this person is persistent. She must really want to talk to me. And that sometimes has to be done with strategic gifting 2, 3, or even 4 times, especially depending on how high profile of a person you are reaching out to. So there's some different theories among the 2 books we're talking about today, The Ultimate Sales Machine and Giftology. The Rulin book, Giftology, says give less often, but spend more money per gift. And Chet Holmes in Ultimate Sales Machine says give more often, but spend less. So my personal opinion is if I'm sending to the same person on an ongoing basis, I think quarterly is a good cadence to send to. Now, I send gifts every month to the new clients that came into my business from the prior month. So I'm sending gifts every month, and I'm also sending gifts every month to cases that settled at the end of their case. So I'm sending gifts all the time every month, but if I'm sending gifts to the same person, I think quarterly is a good time frame to send them.
And this can also include your dream 100 prospects to send those gifts quarterly as well, because it's something that they're not expecting it, especially if you do it as a surprise. Also, your employees, it's recommended to send them a gift right when they're hired. Also, after their first 90 days and each year during their anniversary.
So you want to create a gifting calendar. So you make your list of who you want to gift throughout the year. And this is really timely, this episode, because it's going to air right at the beginning of 2024, and you're in the perfect position to be planning for the year. So, but even if you're listening to this mid-year, it's never too late to start. Sit down, get out the calendar, and start putting down dates of who you want to gift and what you want to gift. And John Rulin calls it planned randomness. So to the recipient, it feels random. It feels like a surprise, but it's actually very planned because you are being very intentional and strategic about what you're sending and when you're sending it. So if you get the calendar out, you can plan ahead and you can put those people on the list of, on the month that you want to send, and write down what gift you're going to buy. And you can look at that in advance to make sure you're ordering the gifts ahead of time and having a plan in place to package and ship them, etc. So you put your clients on there that you may be sending to them monthly if you have new clients monthly like I do. You can also send to your past clients. If you've got hundreds of past clients, you're not going to send to every one of them. So you want to create a top fans list. So those are the people who wrote you 5-star reviews. Those are the people who've already referred you a new client. Those are the people who follow you on social media and comment. Those are the people who, when you send an email update or an email, your email marketing campaign, they respond on a regular basis. Those are your top fans. Those are the people that you want to put on your calendar, and your dream 100 prospects, and then your employees. So you schedule it all out on your calendar, you pick out your gifts, and then you're ready to go, and you can just start implementing the process.
So there's 2 different theories on how much you should be spending for these gifts. So the Ultimate Sales Machine says to keep the gifts inexpensive. Expensive gifts, they feel like you're trying to bribe them. And the recipient will smile at the gesture and doesn't feel bribed when it's something that's inexpensive. And many studies have shown that things of relatively low value can trump things that are of high value. And also something to consider is some professions can't accept a gift that is over a certain dollar amount.
So that's the theory from Ultimate Sales Machine. Giftology is actually a little different, because Giftology says to ask yourself, what can we buy that is best in class, that is within our budget? And they say that most gifts should be in the $100 to $1,000 range. A rule of thumb is to think about what would you pay for a dinner, a round of golf, or tickets to a ball game. So I think that both of these theories on how much to spend are to be utilized for different types of gifts. So the inexpensive continuous gift that you send on a more frequent basis is going to be good to send to your 100 prospects when you're sending a high volume. But the more expensive, less frequent, more intentional, more personalized gifts are who you're going to send to, or the amounts you're going to spend on those smaller quantity, more intentional relationship building prospects.
Absolutely. And if the budget is tight, a handwritten note is the next best thing. So I have a friend who is a realtor, and I was so touched one day. So she sends me regular handwritten notes all the time, or cards. She'll send me pictures in the mail via a postcard or, a letter that has, just a synopsis of her different adventures that she's been on. But sometimes she'll also send me little surprises in the mail. And she sent me a card that had just a little $1 lottery ticket that you scratch off, right? But the note is what meant so much to me. And it just said something as simple as, with Rachel, or with meeting you and having you in my life, I feel like I won the lottery. Thank you for being a valued friend and referral partner. And that just really touched me because it was completely random. It wasn't my birthday. It wasn't any special occasion. It's just she thought about me and she took the time to put all of this together and just make my day happier.
I totally agree with that. And I think that also ties into the notes that you wrote on your customers' receipts, that just taking that extra time to handwrite anything, I think is really well received, especially today when it's so much easier to send an email or a Facebook message or direct message or text message. To sit down and write a handwritten note and send it out it's just making a little bit extra effort. And if you can't afford to send a gift with it, a handwritten note definitely goes a long way. So when we're thinking about what to give, the goal is to evoke the emotion surprise and delight. And both books agree that gifts should be useful, things that they will want to keep or take home to a spouse or a child. And the best return on investment is something that can be used every day.
Yes. So a branded polo, for example, with someone else's logo on it, this is something that is not typically well received because that is kind of a reflection of what you want them to have. You want them to represent your business while they're out in public. But unless it's a family member, a good friend, or unless you're a famous pop star, people are probably not going to want to wear your company's logo on there. So you'll notice too, if you go to any Goodwill, you'll see racks and racks of polos with other company logos that have been given away. So you want to make sure that you're giving them something that is for them, personalized for them, not what you want them to have.
And with the t-shirts, I will wear somebody else's brand t-shirt to the gym or around the house if it's comfortable, and I put it in my drawer. But when it comes time for me to do that spring cleaning and go through my closet, and I don't have enough space for everything, those branded shirts are some of the first things to go. So that just kind of represents that they're not personalized. They're not something that was meaningful to me. It was something that was useful for a specific purpose, like being comfortable around the house, but just doesn't have the same emotion tied to it. Another idea that the book talks about, the Giftology book talks about, that I think is really great is if you're going to be sending, say, quarterly gifts, to kind of have a theme and build upon that theme each time. So he talks about, John Ruhlin was a salesperson for Cutco, which is the knives that are, they're great knives, and they're fairly expensive knives, but you can also engrave them with a name. And so he would buy one knife for someone, and then a couple months later send a second knife, and then send a third knife, and then, building on the knife set over the course of time. So the recipient never knew when another knife was going to come, but it was building up to, it gave you the anticipation of it and the excitement of it. You never knew when it was going to happen, but they were great quality things. They weren't, one specific knife wasn't going to break the bank, but if you were to buy them a whole set at once, it would be really expensive. So kind of building on that gift over time, breaking it into bite-sized pieces is, I think, a great idea. I have a colleague who loves Ariana Grande perfume, and I had the idea of sending her, because Ariana Grande has like probably 10 perfumes or so, sending her one perfume and then sending another one a month or two later, just kind of, so at the end of it, she'll have a whole library of Ariana Grande perfumes. It's probably something she wouldn't go out and buy for herself, that many different perfumes, but she would really enjoy, and it's something she will use every day.
And it's thoughtful because you had to think about, well, what does she like? And you know that obviously she's expressed this to you in one way or another. So you took the time to build upon that and just really create a relationship with her. So I love that. Something else to consider too, in terms of like having your logo on something, when you're picking out gifts, think about, would you go to a wedding and give this to someone? Because you wouldn't necessarily go to a wedding and give someone a beautiful set of dishes with your name on it, right? No, you would give them something that they wanted. So I think having that mindset shift, thinking about what they want to receive and not what you want them to have, is crucial.
Can you imagine sitting at Christmas dinner with your family and you have these nice dishes and someone's like, who is Rachel Bolt? Why is her name on all your dishes? It would be weird, right? But that's kind of what we do in business, is we put our name on things and send them out to people. And I don't necessarily think that there's no value in promotional products. I actually think promotional products are really great, but I think if you tie it in with something valuable or meaningful or personalized, that's the best way to do it. So rather than me just sending a bunch of, Bolt's Legal stuff to someone, I will put in one of these more personalized things, and then throw in a pen and an air freshener that say Bolt's Legal on it as well, because those are also useful. They're inexpensive, but there's something a little more special as well that will make them feel valued.
Skincare for aging and little black dresses, obedient children who clean up the messes, high heels and purses and chocolate galore. Louis Vuitton is our favorite store. This sparkling ice lemon lime flavor is like lemons and limes have just danced a beautiful worship service on your tongue. I'm serious. It tastes so good. There is only 5 calories and it contains vitamins and antioxidants with 0 sugar. Now, with any carbonated item, I'm sure it's not the best for you, even if it does have some nutrients in it. However, it's much better than soda. You know we're all about that case, no trouble. All about that case, no trouble. All about that case, no trouble. All about that case,
At Bolts Legal, we are all about your case. Text or call to schedule a free consultation for all your legal needs. boltslegal.com.
Absolutely. And that's a great point about the pins. Pins, out of all of the promotional products from the research that I've done, tend to be the ones that perform best because they get used all the time. Everyone needs a pin. And only a small percentage will actually do business with the logo that's on the pin. But it's increased visibility. And it's also something that's not costly. So that's something to consider too.
John Rulin says that his giftology group sends out $250,000 worth of gifts every year, and it does not put its logo on a single gift. So that's telling. He is the authority on this subject, as far as I know and in my opinion. So if he's not putting his logo on things, then that means something. But again, I think that there's a balance. I think that sending something along with it that has your logo, or I'm a big fan of branding the packaging.
Yes.
I have lightning bolt poly mailers. They're like envelopes that my gifts get mailed in. And so my brand is all on the packaging, and it stands out among all the brown boxes and the white envelopes that people are receiving, and creates some anticipation and excitement based on the packaging, and it has my brand on it. So I think I really enjoy putting my brand all in the packaging and making it really nice and presentable, but having the gift itself be more targeted towards the recipient.
Yeah, John Rulin says, when you make a gift all about you, it's no longer a gift. And I know Brooke, she is obsessed with these positive potatoes. So can you tell us a little bit about the positive potatoes?
My positive potatoes are the gift that just keep on giving. These are like, somebody's gonna put a positive potato on my gravestone. I love these little potatoes. They're little crochet potatoes, and they have a little positive quote on them. It says something like, "I may only be a tiny potato, but I believe in you. Go do your thing." And so whenever I send a gift to someone, I put a little potato in it. And I get more response to my positive potato than anything else. Every woman I've sent it to, I don't know that the men appreciate the positive potato as much. So there is a difference in gender gifting and what a man will appreciate versus what a woman will appreciate. So that's a whole nother subject for another day. But the women that I send the positive potato to have put them on their desk, and they come back to me and say, every person who comes in my office picks up the potato, comments on how cute it is, and asks me where I got it. And so she is being reminded of me every day when someone comments on the potato, and she says, oh, that was a gift from my friend Brooke. And so it is bringing awareness to the other person, too, of who I am. So it's kind of an introduction to me. And it is something that's consistently reminding the person I gave it to of me. And my name isn't on it anywhere, but the person remembers who they got it from. And every time someone comments on it, they're being reminded of me. Someone even reached out to me and said, I have to know where you got these potatoes, because every time someone comes in, they love it. It's on my desk. So this to me is a great example of an inexpensive gift. You can buy them on Amazon. I think they're about $4 each. And it's something that can be used every day because it sits on the desk. It's creative, and it brings a smile to people's face. And even though it's not got their name on it, or it's not specifically personalized to them, they still feel like it's special.
So here's what we need to do, just as a little side note, is we need to either reach out to the creators of Positive Potato and work out some sort of affiliate marketing agreement, or we need to come up with our own brand, such as like the Caring Carrot. I think that would be something good to do.
The Miss Biz banana.
Yes. Yes. I love it. I love it.
See, this is how brilliant business minds work. Rachel is always looking for new business opportunities and business ideas, even on an unrelated subject.
Absolutely. So the next thing that we're going to touch is the Dream 100. So you want to make sure that you're identifying your Dream 100. As Brooke mentioned earlier, these are the clients, or the prospective clients rather, that you want to build a relationship with. And then choose the gifts. It's recommended to choose small gifts every 2 weeks. But when we're reaching out with these gifts to the people that we don't have a relationship with, but maybe we want to build one and have that first initial meeting, is there anything that we need to do with sending the gift? Because that might be a little creepy if you're sending all these gifts to someone. I know if I was the recipient and I just got all these gifts, I might think someone was like stalking me or something.
A secret admirer?
Yeah. So how do we avoid that weirdness?
Sure. So you said the 2 weeks, and that's what Chet Holmes recommends, to send a small gift every 2 weeks. I think that's a little excessive. I think monthly would be the most frequent that I would send, and I think every couple months is even fine, or quarterly as well. But you want to send a letter or a card with every gift, and it should have a call to action. So there's a sample letter in the Ultimate Sales Machine that he includes, and this gift he was sending was a stopwatch. And his letter said, every second that you do not get our free executive briefing, the 5 most critical insights in your industry, you are losing money. This is a free community service sponsored by our firm as a way to give something back to the market. This executive briefing contains more than $3 million in research. It's boiled down to a bullet style, fast-paced, outstanding education on how to increase business in this scary period of rising competition and another pain point. Call for your free executive briefing today. The clock is ticking and you are losing money.
So I like the creativity there. However, I do think that it's a little bit spammy, the way that it's written. No disrespect.
I tend to agree. I think it's a little salesy for my taste. I feel like I would get the stopwatch and be like, this is interesting. This is unique. I haven't gotten one of these before. What's this about? And then when I go to read the card or the letter, I may think, oh, it's just a sales pitch. And it kind of, that anticipation is let down. So I put in here a letter that I wrote that I plan to send out with some gifts that I'm planning to send. I'm sending a seat cushion and a bag of potato chips. And so you'll have no idea why you're receiving this.
Yeah, it seems like kind of an odd combination.
Yes, but if you read the letter, hopefully it will explain it. So I'm planning to send these to the homes that live near my office. My office is on a main road, but just behind it are a bunch of residential homes. And those people are in such close proximity to where my office is. I want them to be aware of me, and I want to build a relationship with these people because we are neighbors. So here's the letter. Since we're neighbors, I am sending you this small gift to introduce myself. PETA stands for pain in the bleep. So we've got a cushion to help with that. Living and working just a hop, skip, and jump away, I'm aware that life can toss some real curveballs your way, bringing on headaches and stress that truly qualify as the pain in the bleep. I am here to help alleviate those burdens. Fear not, dear neighbor, our team stationed right near your stomping grounds at my address is geared up and ready to tackle those troubles. Don't handle your PETA alone. Drop by or feel free to contact me and I give my contact information. Thank you, and I look forward to getting to know you more in the future.
See, I love your letter so much more because to me that letter is relationship building. Like, you're reaching out to them to tell them like, hey, I'm right around the corner, and if you are experiencing things that are causing you strife or pain in your life, I want you to know that I'm here to help you. Whereas with the other letter that was read previously, I think it was more about, getting that call scheduled. So I think when you're writing these letters that, shifting your mindset is very important, to, instead of thinking about, well, I want, these are my dream 100 and I want this many new clients next year, to shifting that really to say, I want to build relationships with these people. And I know that I have a product or a service that's really going to benefit them. So let me take that leap of faith and extend my kindness to them and really try to build a relationship and help them.
And some businesses, it's hard because for me as a lawyer, I do injury and insurance cases. And so people don't have a need for that every day. You have to have a certain life event occur. So for me to try to tie in what I do to something that will benefit them, it's hard. If I don't know what their legal needs may be to just reach those needs. I don't know what they would want. I wanted to have some relationship to what I do. So it's not easy sometimes to come up with that right gift that ties in something that they can use and they see value in without just straight out giving a sales pitch. So this was the best attempt that I came up with to offer, and the cushions say on them, "Don't handle your PITA alone." So hopefully they'll put it on a desk chair, so it's something that they're using every day that'll cause them to think of me. Hopefully they'll see it as creative, and hopefully they'll understand my heart, which is that anytime they have a legal need, they can reach out, and I'm open to hearing from them and trying to help them.
I love that. And for your industry specifically, it's crucial that you develop that relationship before the accident happens, because per the Florida bar, you can't initiate contact with someone who has been injured in an accident. So really trying to build that relationship with them before they face whatever life experience that they need, legal assistance with, is going to be crucial. So I think it's a great idea. Now, the next question is, does business gifting always work?
Nothing works all the time. So it's not 100% effective. It's not 100% effective. And frankly, there are different types of people. There's a book by Adam Grant called Give and Take, why helping others drives our success. And it categorizes people in 3 ways. There's givers, takers, and matchers. So if you're giving a gift to a giver, this is the type of person who gives themselves. They give with no strings attached. And these tend to be the highest performers in business and the highest performers in life. But if you give a gift to a taker are those vampires who suck every ounce of life out of you and never reciprocate any good deed. If you're giving to a taker, it may fall flat, your gifting efforts. And so it's not going to work necessarily with that type of a person. And then you have your matchers, which are the people who reciprocate what you do. So if you give them something, they want to give back. And so it's not going to work 100% of the time. But if you consider in baseball, you would be in the Hall of Fame if you bat 3 out of 10 times. Then in business gifting, 30% or greater is exceptional. Some seeds will fall on fertile soil, and those are going to repay dividends. But then others are going to fall on unfertile soil, and those are not. But what I can tell you is that the percentage that fall on fertile soil will far outweigh those that don't, creating a successful investment.
And the people who are going to who are either going to be those takers or the ones that are going to react negatively to your gifting efforts are most likely the same people who would react negatively in any circumstances. You could send them a brand new Porsche and the response would be, oh, it's the wrong color. So identifying those people is going to be a valuable asset for you as well. And, I think that it's important not to stress if something goes wrong, because there are going to be times and situations where business gifting goes wrong.
Yeah, I had one of those happen to me last year. I have a friend who likes sunglasses, and he has probably 24 pairs of sunglasses that are all different designs and different brands. And so he essentially collects nice sunglasses. So I thought, I'm going to get him a nice pair of sunglasses. So I spent a lot of time looking through different sunglasses online and found what I thought would be a pair he would like. And so I sent them, and he called me to thank me for the sunglasses, but told me it turned out they were a woman's size. So he couldn't even fit it on his head. So he turned that challenge into a positive by giving the sunglasses to his girlfriend. So he still was able to give her a nice gift, but he wasn't able to utilize it. So it was a gift gone wrong. It's something that we still joke about now. But it's going to happen. You're going to send wine to somebody who doesn't drink. You're going to send something, whatever. You're going to send things without knowing. You're going to send sugar to a diabetic. It's going to happen sometimes. But number one, it's okay. But number two, the effort behind it, I think, is what people appreciate the most. So even if the gift falls flat, like my sunglasses, I still think that the goal of showing how much you value the relationship is still there and still achieved because of the effort behind it.
Absolutely. They say, what is the saying? It's the thought that counts. So I think by simply putting thought and effort into what you're doing, it's going to make a huge difference in how it is perceived, even if it is something that goes wrong. And for the ones who are never going to be happy in any type of circumstance, just don't let them steal your sunshine. Just keep doing what you're doing and staying focused on your goals, because with every gift that you send, you're going to make someone's day brighter. Luke 6:28 says, "Give, and it will be given to you, a good measure, pressed down, shaken together, and running over will be poured into your lap." We appreciate you and are honored to be on this journey with you. We can't wait to help you, to encourage you, and show you how to grow personally, professionally, and spiritually.
If you found Miss Biz helpful, please leave a review and share with others.
You can follow us on social media at Miss Biz Podcast.
For legal questions or services, please visit boltslegal.com.
And for digital marketing needs, please visit boltsmedia.com. Let's get biz done.